At the Anthony Gilardi Acting Studio, there are many artists that are creating content, writing their own scripts, producing them, and we nurture that kind of filmmaker and artist. One of the filmmakers that is coming out of the Anthony Gilardi Acting Studio is Jenna Bleecker. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenna Bleecker! Jenna has written and produced a short film named Descry. This is something that she has never done before. It is inspired by a scene that she did right here in class. She was inspired and she was brave enough to set a goal and carry out her goal. So walk us through a little bit about what you did in class that inspired you and the process of writing something, getting it up and producing it and so forth and so on.
Sure. So I did a couple of scenes in class with an actor, Quincy Ndekwe. We did scenes from a play called Dutchman by Mary Baraka, and I just got really inspired. I wanted to write something inspired by it. So, I started writing, and I thought, hey, I want to do this. I really want to make a short film, but I want it to be at a level that's really, high quality. So I just found people in my life that could help me with that. My friend, and he is now the director of it, and co-writer, Dave Yohe, very experienced, talented guy, and he helped me with it. And we started co-writing it, and I cast it completely out of the studio. Did a crowdfund, and we filmed it.
So, and you've never written anything before?
No.
Or produced anything
I
before?
didn't even have final draft. I was on a Word document.
So, but it didn't stop you. Would you say that none of that, the inexperience that you may have had at the time, was overpowered by your inspiration and your need to tell a specific story?
No, I knew that if I had the attitude of I don't know what I'm doing, and to be humble and to find people who were excellent at their craft to help me and so I could learn from them,
Okay.
I knew I could make a good project. I knew it just was about
Right.
the groundwork, about convincing people to help me.
So you weren't afraid to ask for help. Now that's something that a lot of just human beings alone are afraid
Yeah.
to do because they feel like they should do everything on their own. It's very unrealistic, especially when you're doing it for the first time.
It is. It's humbling too. You have to come from that place
Yeah.
because you're not going to grow if you don't admit I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
And I think people gravitate towards that because there are people in this industry that want to be mentors. You just have to find them. You have to ask.
Good. Excellent. And another thing that was very brave of you was to take a subject matter that is very, very deep and risque.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about racism, prejudice, stereotypes, and so forth and so on. Social awareness, which is a subject that is near and dear to my heart and to all our hearts.
Mm-hmm.
That was brave just to go down that road in itself. Did you have any fear and doubts that it wouldn't be well received just because of the content alone?
I wasn't afraid it wasn't going to be well received. I think my fear was really that it was going to be inauthentic. That was my only fear. And so I think Dave, Yohe, and I really were almost overcompensating with making it authentic. By that I mean we sat down, each of us spent several hours with each of the actors and got their story. So they basically kind of wrote their own character.
Oh, good.
So it was straight from them, straight from their souls, straight from their real life, stereotypical experiences that they, the stereotypes that they fight every day. So in that way, that was the only thing I was afraid about. I didn't care if people didn't like it. I don't.
Well, that's good. That's good. And okay, cut to that. You have your script now, and you have your director now, but now you need the funding to actually shoot this. You did a GoFundMe,
Indiegogo.
an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign.
Yes, I think that was one of the scariest things.
Yeah.
asking for money is that alone was humbling, I thought.
It's a huge mountain to climb,
It
but
is.
you climbed it. How much did you end up getting?
We raised $6,000. We had a goal of $5,000. We raised $6,000. So
Excellent.
yeah.
And did you find that is amazing that when you inspire people through something that has inspired you, it's kind of like a domino effect, if you will, and everything just falls right into place because a lot of people, they admire bravery and they know that this is a subject matter that needs to be told, and you need to put a voice onto the voiceless. That was my favorite thing about what you wrote. In a second, we're going to show a clip of a monologue that is probably the most intense moment in the story. It's a short film. It's about it's under 10 minutes long. Did you save money for post-production, marketing, and that sort of thing? Did you find that to be a challenge as well?
It was a challenge. That was another thing. I was so lucky to have Dave Yohe, the director, really help me with that. He's done this so many times before, and he's really adamant about budget and setting aside money for post-production. So we did do that.
And from what I understand, it was at least a 2-year project from start to finish, which is still going on.
Absolutely. It's and he said that too. He's like, this is going to be a commitment. You have to stay with it to push it, you know. And
excellent.
We got rejected from a lot of festivals. We did get into one, and that one that we got into, we got distribution from it. We also got Oscar qualified from that one festival.
Short film Oscar qualified?
And it was because one person saw it and we didn't.
Well, that's the thing. It just takes the right person to see something, and if you give up because you hear no and all kinds of rejection, then you'll never get it to that place.
Yeah, and all those festivals that we got rejected from were in the beginning of the year, and it just was like, okay, I guess we'll go to this one festival.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be awesome.
Did you say it like that?
I did.
Because I wouldn't recommend saying it like that.
I was, it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster,
you know?
and it takes time, and it takes perseverance.
Yeah.
So this is a clip from Descry, and we're going to roll it here, and then we'll give you guys an opportunity to ask Jenna any questions that you may have. Okay? Roll the clip.
Who the fuck do you think you are?
Huh?
I'm me. I'm a man who wakes up every single day and fights for his family. I'm a heart. I fight the same damn fight that you fight every single day. How dare you pull the trigger at me? What am I? What am I to a blind man but a heart that loves, that hates, that feels just like you feel? I'm not leaving, and I will not move anymore. I am a man at the end of the day.
How do you feel about watching this like for the 1,000th time that you've watched it?
Yeah, it still makes me cry every single time. It's just, Quincy gave such an amazing performance, and I look back and think, my God, I'm so lucky that we had him, because I don't think it would have been as great without him at all.
Speaking of that, I know that you cast a lot of actors from the studio.
All of them.
My favorite thing about it is the diversity that you use. I mean, there was every single group was represented one way or another.
Not every single, but yeah, pretty much. We had Katie, who's Chinese. We had Caucasian. We had Quincy's mixed race, black and white. We had Wilson. Who's Hispanic, and then we also had Amina, and she's from Ghana.
Excellent. And it's like, it's a it's a perfect opportunity to give opportunities to people that need it, and especially great storytellers. Okay. So, does anyone have any questions for Jenna? We have time for a couple of questions. Anyone have a question for Jenna? Yes, sir.
I couldn't really get. I wanted to know what the scene was about because it just went right into.
Yeah, it was kind of like they watched this. They watched the scene out of context. They didn't know exactly what the short film was about. So, can you explain exactly, put in context of why he was feeling what he was feeling? Very good question.
Yeah, sure. That scene basically was what the entire short film was about. When we were trying to say is, who are you? Who are you? What is your identity? And how do you stay true to that in a world that constantly pushes you into a stereotype? And I think everyone feels that. And so that's kind of what that scene is.
Yeah, and to me, it's like it's all about humanity, and we talk about this all the time. We're human beings, and on the inside, like he says in the monologue, I'm a heart.
Yeah.
And if a blind man like noticed me and felt my energy, he would feel a heart and not see the color of my skin. And I think that was the message that I got from that.
Yeah.
It was very cool. Okay. Any other questions? We have time for one more question. Yes.
Seeing as this was your first project that you produced and wrote and starred in, if you did it all over again, what would you do differently?
What would I do differently? That's a great question. Well, I'm going to say what you say to us every single class is trust the process. Just trust it more. I was kind of a mess to the whole process. I was really just, it's a lot of pressure and it's a lot of that I put on myself, Just trust it. Trust.
I think the biggest question that everybody has, how do we see the whole film? Now that you teased us with this, where can we watch the whole film and how do we get it? Where is it available to the public?
Sure, it's you can go to our Facebook page, Descry Short Film, and we have links on there to iTunes and Amazon. We're also on Google Play.
So those of us that don't spell too well, how do you spell Descry?
Descry is D as in dog, ESCRY.
Oh my god. All right, so the Facebook page has the iTunes and what else?
iTunes, Amazon, and Google Play.
Okay, good. So they can watch it from there.
Yes.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us and for being inspired and hence inspiring others. Jenna Bleecker, ladies and gentlemen.